So I'm Marc Gunther. I'm the editor-at-large of Guardian Sustainable Business US. That's the website of the Guardian newspaper that covers business and the environment. I was here today to interview Hans Engel, who is the CEO for North America of BASF, the big chemical company. I think what we're seeing, and we're at a very early stage now, is finally we're moving beyond efficiency. I mean, there was a compliance stage to business and the environment where people just obeyed the laws and cut their pollution and, reduced some of their waste if they had to. I think we've had a long period of sustainability being efficiency, which is incremental improvements. And I'm hopeful we're at the beginning of a new phase, which is much more radical and transformational and the kind of change that we need, because efficiency isn't going to solve the problems. So I think the big question for companies now, and for that matter for the society, is how do we have economic growth and prosperity while not just limiting but actually reducing our environmental footprint? And that's why I say we're going beyond efficiency now. Companies like Walmart and IKEA and other consumer goods companies are going to have to really rethink their business model so that we not only reduce waste but eliminate the whole idea of waste, so that when we're done with something, whatever that might be, a phone, a car, piece of furniture, a computer, rather than throw it away, we need to turn it into whatever its next iteration is going to be. So again, it's not reducing waste, it's changing the whole idea of waste. There definitely are. I mean, there's a company called Interface, which essentially will sell you flooring, but they're not selling you the flooring permanently. They're essentially saying, we'll put carpet on your floor. When it's worn out, when a different one comes around, we'll take it back, we'll make it into new carpet, we'll give you new carpet. So it's a model where, instead of a linear model where we make something, use something, and throw it away, it's a circular model where we make something, we use it for as long as it's valuable, then we make it into something else. And you see a lot of companies experimenting with it. You see Philips doing it in the healthcare arena and with some of their lighting products. Some of the automakers are very interested in getting their cars back once they're done because it's cheaper than mining new materials. And of course, this is what the recycling industry is fundamentally about. So you have industries like aluminum, where high percentages of all the aluminum ever mined is still out there being used because it's a very easy to recycle commodity. Very few. But I mean, that's something where your province, British Columbia, is probably way ahead of the curve compared to the US, which is my focus, because you have your carbon tax here, according to your premier who spoke this morning. It's had a beneficial or at least neutral effect on the economy. I don't think there are many companies, aside from a handful in the renewable energy industry, where climate and carbon pricing is a top priority for them. I think that's a movement that's going to have to be driven by environmental groups, consumers, and smart government regulators. One trend is what we've just talked about, which is we really do need to get serious, the corporate community, consumers, NGOs, et cetera, about finding a way to put a price on carbon in the US. Because without that, all the voluntary measures aren't going to add up to very much. Another thing I'm seeing happening are some interesting collaborations across industries, where you have the apparel industry, for example, trying to come up with standards about sourcing, about the footprint of their products, about the conditions for labor in their supply chain. So companies that would ordinarily compete are cooperating around that. And I guess the third one is a slowly awakening consumer, where you see things like the sharing economy beginning to take off. You see the Zipcars and Airbnbs of the world, and I think there's going to be some excitement around that arena as well.